What is up, guys? My name is Spencer. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out Reform. They haven't actually got a sort of headline video like many of the other parties. However, they do have a lot of 2-minute, 1-minute videos about various different topics that they cover. So I think I'm just going to scroll through and see which ones take my fancy. And yeah, we'll see what Reform are all about. Obviously, we'll start here with UK Reform. We'll detain and deport because Sadiq Khan has said that Reform will bring ICE to the UK, which I don't know about you, but for me, that's perfect. That is, I would 100% vote for that. Above anything else, the main priority for me is not having as big a population as we have right now.
Today we launch Operation Restoring Justice. And as far as the people of this country is concerned, frankly, these measures can't come soon enough.
There's little doubt that the United Kingdom is being invaded. In fact, more people have arrived on our beaches illegally over the last 8 years than stormed the beaches of Normandy on D-Day. A reformed government will ensure that the United Kingdom will once again be a proud sovereign nation with full control of its borders. One in which our country is secure, one in which our people are prosperous, and one in which Britain is powerful again.
And so in early 2020, I repeatedly went out into the English Channel, filming what was going on, saying you may as well put a sign on the White Cliffs of Dover saying everyone welcome. And unless we start deporting people, I predicted this would turn into, and yes, I used the word, invasion. But 180,000 people later, what other word could possibly describe what has been going on? It is an invasion, as these young men illegally break into our country. But I'm afraid...
Border Force. I think it's disgusting that they have a lifeboat out there to pick them up, to be honest. Whatever that is. Border Force. But Border Force to me is not let's go and pick them up from out the middle of the channel and bring them back. Border Force is let's make them turn around or deter them from coming. What the hell is that all about?
These young men illegally break into our country. But I'm afraid that the Conservative government did literally nothing. Smash the gangs was never, ever going to work. And even as we speak, there are French naval vessels escorting these boats across to a 12-mile line. This issue has become a scourge of modern Britain.
Yeah, well, we should have...
You come to the UK...
we should have a British Navy ship there, stopping the boats coming this way. I know France wants to get rid of them because they're overrun as well, much with the entire rest of Europe. There's a reason why people are trying to get here. It's all the handouts that they get. It's unreal.
You will be detained and deported and never, ever allowed to stay, period. And we're the first party to put out plans that could actually make that work. The boats will stop coming within days. I am the only party leader that has been clear and consistent on this issue over the course of the last 5 years. And I have a feeling that what we're doing today with Operation Restoring Justice is going to be very popular in the wider country indeed. It is vital that we do this. There's nobody on these issues of sovereignty, on these issues of national self-interest. There is nobody more determined to do this than me.
Good on you, Nigel. Zia Youssef as well is also top bloke by the sounds of it. Everything that I've seen, I really like the way he comes across, the way he puts his message out there. The civil service has lost its way.
This is Whitehall. This is the street that runs from Parliament Square up to Trafalgar Square, and it's where, in the old days, the whole British Empire was governed from this street. These days, What we call Whitehall means the whole district of Westminster. You've got these great glass steel towers housing ministries and departments across this whole postal district. Reform wants to make Whitehall, Whitehall again. We're going to bring back the British government, the civil service, to this street. We think we can house the whole of the central government of the UK here in these buildings like we used to in the old days. That number has gone up hugely in the last 10 years because the failure of leadership by successive governments has meant that the civil service has just grown and grown.
We're going to cut the numbers of civil servants by over 60,000 roles, saving over £5 billion a year for the taxpayer.
We're going to take these numbers out by reducing the numbers of HR professionals, comms professionals, all the middle managers, all these policy people who don't know anything about the areas that they've got policy responsibility for. We're going to invest in the front line, and we're also going to support the remaining civil servants to have a better job. Pay them better, link their pay to their performance, reduce the bureaucracy and the compliance and all the management that they suffer under. We're going to make Whitehall smaller, better and happier for the people working in it. And we need your help for that. We know there are brilliant people working in these buildings, often at junior levels, just as frustrated as the public are at how bad government is. So if that's you, we want you to help us get ready for government. So come and tell us privately, confidentially and anonymously where you think the problems are. Where's the friction? What are the blockers? What are the dysfunctions in the processes that you work under that mean you can't do your job as well as you want to? Get in touch. We'll treat you with absolute confidence and we'll make use of the information you give us.
Brilliant. Thinking about how many like middlemen there are in the government, there must be so much fraud that is possible to do being in the government. Looking at Minnesota in the US with how much fraud they've uncovered, and it's obviously goes through the politicians as well. Otherwise, there's no reason why you would let it happen, other than being guilty. These are four new reform members have come over, which is pretty cool. So other than immigration, yeah, essentially immigration and bringing stuff back to London, I'm not sure. Sit down with Welsh farmers and small business, that's more like it.
Well, it's North Wales today. We're just outside Conwy, and I've just sat down for half an hour with half a dozen northern Welsh farmers, and what the Welsh government are putting upon them is basically they've got to reforest much of their land. What they've got to do with the new scheme, if they're going to continue to get any support, is they've actually got to meet these 12 objectives, including benchmarking. Benchmarking. I don't even know what it means. And the whole thing seems
only on a
monstrous.
PC game.
It's almost as if Cardiff is quite happy to simply put small Welsh farmers out of business. It's been a big learning curve this morning as to what's going on here in Wales and the way in which we're going to have to fight the elections for the Senedd next May, because we really want to be on their side. Well, a big round table with North Wales tourism, and of course
I'm not being funny as well. Like, if you start getting mayors that are in the Muslims from a different country, different culture, do they even know what farming is? Is that a dumbass question? I know they get a lot of goats and that over there, but that's about it.
this part of the world relies very,
They don't have
very
John
heavily
Deere
on
and stuff, do
tourism.
they?
Very interesting. Small businesses, different sectors. Clearly, the fear of the budget over the course of the last few weeks has just stopped everything. You can't sell a business, you can't sell a house, but also particular Welsh problems as well. Real stupidities on rental properties, there'll be a tourism levy. And then when you get here, you can only drive at 20 miles an hour. And I'm sure people think, oh, to hell with it. I'm not going to Wales, because if I do, I'll probably finish up getting banned from driving after just one day. So it was very interesting as we head towards those elections next May. What are the things we can do that might be little things, but that might make a big difference to the perception of coming to Wales for a long weekend, for a holiday, or whatever it may be. Well, I'm sitting in this beautiful family hotel, third generation, been here 80 years, and this place is beautiful. It is really, really lovely. But the point that's being made, and this has not been discussed nationally at all, is the inheritance tax that the farmers are going on about, and rightly so, also applies to family businesses. Doesn't apply to big corporations. Doesn't apply to big companies. It applies to family businesses. This hotel,
they just want to crush a small guy,
would face an immediate bill of about £800,000, which would make the business completely unsustainable, mean the whole thing had to be sold, and it'll get bought up by some giant US company, and no doubt not
BlackRock,
in the same love and care that it currently is.
So family businesses also caught in Rachel Reeves's inheritance trap. Not being discussed, but it should be.
That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, that's a little stab at BlackRock buying so much property in the UK right now. For what reason, I do not know. So I do feel like Nigel is a bit of a man of the people. I want to trust him as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, give him a fair shot. I know people bash him for UKIP and leaving the EU, but I don't know. Maybe if he has a fair shot of it, then it'll be all right. I know I was hearing bad things about like Tories joining, defecting over, but from watching the Conservatives video the other day, I don't see that as a problem. I see that as quite a good thing. I quite liked what they've got going on over there. I like the lady that's in charge over there as well at the minute. I've been watching some Instagram stuff of her, and I feel like she's got some balls to say what she wants. Very much like Nigel, not like Keir Starmer, who is letting terrorists and ISIS brides back into the country without telling anyone, which is insane. I honestly don't know. Without getting into it like in a crazy long video, this one might be good, about some police crime.
Now, we're now going to talk about real policing and about a real policeman, somebody with a very, very distinguished career to reverse lawlessness and take back control of the streets. And we really are, as a party, absolutely delighted to welcome Colin Sutton on board.
You might be asking why I'm here, why reform, why now, why do this? I do know, actually. For 14 years, we saw the Conservatives wreck our country and wreck, for me, the most important institution in that country, which is our police service.
Absolutely
I
stripped
find
it.
every single day I'm thinking to myself, is Rishi Sunak still holding Keir Starmer's beer? We need to do the things that matter to real people. I used to go home as a young police officer to my family and say, brilliant job last night, mean streets of Tottenham. Yes, we arrested a burglar. Do these days go home and say, found a fantastic offensive tweet today? Policy, prevention,
It's not
and
even
processes
wrong.
is what we will look at, and we
Takes
will
the
come up with a
piss.
plan, takes back control, makes Britain not the lawless place it's becoming. Britain is lawless. Britain needs reform.
Good man. Happy days. Because all the bike stealing gangs and stuff in Bristol, people that will come and rob your shed for your motorbike, they will never ever get caught. And if they do, their mates will just carry on doing it because the sentences are so light. You need to just essentially just paralyze them so they can't steal anything again. They might learn then the hard way. But people honestly don't learn unless it comes to force, and they get absolutely fucked up. It's like parenting when your kid's a little bastard and your mum just threatens you with smacking your ass or whatever, and it just never comes. So eventually you know, and then you don't have any respect for authority because you think that authority won't actually do what they say they're going to do. And in many cases, they don't. That's why I quite like the American police and ICE at the moment, because if you fuck with them, you will learn the hard way. And I'm all about that. Learning the hard way. You learn real quick then. But yeah, I'm going to have to look more into some reform stuff. Sorry, this is a proper like unorganised video, but there was so much to look at. I didn't know where to start, and I've just been scrolling and talking over. But if there's anything you'd like me to check out at a later date, comment down below, like, comment and subscribe, and I will catch you tomorrow.